All right, let's talk about something you've probably never given a second thought to. It's this silvery gray element that's been like the quiet backbone of, well, pretty much everything for thousands and thousands of years. We're talking about manganese.
Okay, so right off the bat, let's get one thing straight. Manganese is not magnesium. I know, they sound almost the same, but they couldn't be more different. Think of it like this. Your body needs just a tiny pinch of manganese. We're talking like 1.4 milligrams a day for stuff like antioxidant defense. But magnesium? Whoa, that's a whole different story. We need a ton of it, hundreds of milligrams, for our muscles and heart to work right. So yeah, definitely not the same thing.
So if it's not a big deal for our bodies, why are we even talking about it, right? Well, here's the kicker. This completely overlooked element is actually one of the most important materials in the entire history of humanity.
And to really get why, we've got to go way, way back. See, our story with manganese doesn't kick off in some fancy lab or a modern factory. Nope, it starts deep inside a cave.
I mean, just look at this timeline. It's wild. We're talking 30,000 years ago. Prehistoric humans are literally grinding up manganese dioxide to make the black paint for those incredible cave paintings in places like Lascaux. Then you jump ahead thousands of years to ancient Egypt, and what are they doing? Using it to make glass crystal clear, or to turn it this brilliant purple color. And it doesn't stop there. By 300 BCE, metallurgists in India were adding it, probably without even knowing exactly what they were doing, to create wood steel. You know, the stuff used to make those legendary Damascus blades.
So its ancient history is amazing, for sure. But manganese really, truly had its breakout moment during the Industrial Revolution. That's when it went from an artisan's secret to the unsung hero of the entire modern age.
And what is that critical role? Well, look at this. A whopping 90%, I mean almost all of it, of the manganese we produce today goes into one thing: making steel. And it's not just, a helpful ingredient, it's essential. Without manganese, the steel industry as we know it just wouldn't exist, period.
So how does this magic trick work? It's actually super simple, chemically speaking. Imagine you've got this pot of molten iron. It's full of junk, impurities like oxygen and sulfur that make the final product weak and brittle. So you toss in some manganese, and it basically acts like a chemical sponge, soaking up all that nasty stuff. What you're left with is steel that's way stronger, tougher, and just better. And if you want a perfect example, look no further than something called Hadfield steel. By adding about 12 to 14% manganese, engineers created a material so ridiculously tough that a railway crossing made from it could handle 20 million tons of traffic. That's 8 times longer than regular old carbon steel. I mean, this innovation literally paved the way for modern trains and transportation as we know it.
Okay, so when you have a material that's that important for industry, it's not going to stay just a material for long, right? It was only a matter of time before manganese became a major player on the world stage, a critical piece of geopolitical power and national security.
Think about this. During World War I, the French army made a switch. They started making their helmets out of manganese steel. The result? A 70% drop in shrapnel casualties. 70%! That one change, that one element, saved an unbelievable number of lives. It was a brutal but powerful demonstration of its strategic value.
And that value, it's only gotten bigger. Today, a single M1 Abrams tank, just one, needs 5 tons of manganese steel just for its armor. 5 tons. Suddenly, you can see how controlling the supply of manganese became directly tied to who had the stronger military. And history just proves this over and over again. You had German U-boats in WWY actively hunting down ships carrying manganese ore. You had treaties like the Treaty of Brest-Litovsk that specifically gave Germany access to manganese mines in Ukraine. And by 1940, the US officially called it the single most critical strategic material they had. It wasn't just a metal anymore, it was a true geopolitical chess piece. And it still is. So, let's recap. We've gone from ancient cave paintings to the Industrial Revolution to global warfare. It's been quite a ride, but the story is far from over, because today, right now, manganese is at the absolute heart of the next great tech revolution. And this is where things get really, really cool. Think about green energy. Manganese is crucial for it. The batteries in EVs like the Tesla Model 3, they need manganese. Those huge grid-scale battery farms that store energy from wind and solar, a lot of them are using manganese-based systems. And then you get to the really futuristic stuff. I'm talking quantum computing. IBM is using manganese-doped silicon quantum dots, which is just Mind-bending stuff that's pushing the absolute limits of what computers can do.
You know, there's this quote from a historian, Brian D. Colwell, that just sums it all up perfectly. He said, "The element that once gave ancient artists their darkest pigments now enables the brightest prospects for sustainable energy storage, advanced manufacturing, and materials science breakthroughs." I mean, how great is that? It just beautifully ties its ancient past to its high-tech future. It's really an incredible story, isn't it? From a simple pigment on a cave wall to the steel backbone of our entire industrial world, and now to the core of our digital and green revolution. It just makes you wonder, right? This ancient element has already done so much. What new world is it going to help us build next?